All right, let's go over to Camilla with a check of your forecast. It definitely felt warm today, but it was gorgeous.
Beautiful. Yeah, definitely. You got more of that like pure sunshine on your skin, probably just making you feel toasty and warm. But yeah, temperatures are actually very pleasant out there, for summertime. 81 degrees right now in the South Salem Hills. From our Willamette Valley Vineyards camera, seeing improved air quality, so that's also been nice. Of course, if you're east of the Cascades, still seeing very smoky skies here in La Grande. This is our camera at Eastern Oregon University. Temperatures out there in the low 90s. So let's take a look at that air quality and the ratings across the region. So notice around the Portland metro area, all green dots. That's good. We had increased westerly flow, that push of marine air, sending all that surface smoke back east over the Cascades. So definitely still seeing some moderate air quality ratings out there around Oak Ridge, through central Oregon, and through northeast Oregon as well. But right now, fire activity not out of control, so we're not seeing current wildfires emitting, massive plumes of smoke, so not horrible air quality, even stretching out to eastern Oregon. Here's a look at that 24-hour temperature change. We're running about 5 degrees cooler in Portland and Kelso compared to this time yesterday, so refreshing, and we're in for more cool weather over the next 7+ days. So here's what's going on in the upper levels of the atmosphere. We've got cooler air dropping in from the south. We call this a trough. That's going to be lingering through about midweek. Kind of moves away. We're sort of in between troughs here. Middle of the week, this is paused on Wednesday. Nothing eventful going on. We'll just warm up a little bit. And then we've got the second trough dropping down at the end of the week, taking us into the next weekend. So more cool air, cloudy skies, maybe even some measurable rain chances next weekend. We'll see. Model's still not 100% sure on that one. But the point is, we're going to see below average temperatures here for the next 7 days. As far as those rain chances go for now, mostly just looking at some sprinkle chances along the coast. Both tomorrow, Tuesday, maybe a sprinkle chance for some of us in the valleys. Not out of the question, but, it would be very, very light. Back to dry Wednesday, Thursday. Like I mentioned, we're kind of between troughs on those days. And then maybe Friday, a little bit more coastal drizzle. But that's about it. Portland area forecast for tomorrow. It'll be a cooler start, mostly cloudy skies. We'll see a little bit of clearing throughout the day, but it's certainly going to be cloudier compared to what we're seeing now. Temperatures will be topping out in the mid-70s, so quite cool. We're staying kind of in that same ballpark on Tuesday. We've got that morning sprinkle chance on there, but we'll see. A little warmer Wednesday and Thursday. Temperatures right around 80 degrees for the middle part of your week. And I do think we'll get more afternoon sunshine on Wednesday. And then as that second system drops in a little bit closer, that'll cool us back down into the mid-70s Friday and Saturday. Amel?